Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Old Big Ears podcast. I'm your co-host, Dimitri Geisler, and today I'm joined, of course, with my mate Stefano Michelli and the one and only special guest, Justin Chow. How are you doing?
Doing good. Still recovering from that Juve
Yeah,
loss.
Juve loss, yeah.
no, for sure. That
We both are.
yeah, I know it's a process.
Yeah.
It takes time to come to terms with the fact that Juventus is not going to the round of 16, and they have to wait until next year to play again in Europe. And now they just got to focus on the Serie A.
Yeah.
So because they got to really put their head down and make sure they finish in the top four.
Yep.
So I'm sure that's Juventus' main goal now. But yeah, today we are just going to do a quick preview and recap of the round of 16 draw that took place on the 21st of February today, and just go through all the round of 16 matchups along with our predictions. And then, of course, we'll have some bonus content at the end of this episode. But before we get into all that, we are going to go over some big announcements and news that have popped up in the footballing world over the past couple of days after the conclusion of the knockout phase playoffs. Without further ado, I just want to get into some of this. So first thing I'm going to really call out is just Pep Guardiola is at it again with his antics, you know?
Mhm.
I just call it antics. Just him like saying, I just think it's hogwash. He's just trying to, I don't know. I'm going to read out what he said, but Stefano.
He's trying to give excuses for why Man City.
Yeah, basically. Just excuses. Yeah, for him. But Pep Guardiola, apparently, so after Man City's 6-3 loss against Real Madrid on aggregate over the two legs and their elimination from the Champions League, Pep Guardiola, quote unquote, has stated that Kevin De Bruyne did not start against Real Madrid as he made a technical decision. And actually, he wasn't injured. He just didn't start because Pep Guardiola made a technical decision. I mean,
that's coming from Fabrizio, right?
Yep, that's
from
Fabrizio. And we've seen that before with Pep, right? Of course, in the 2021 Champions League final, he didn't start Roger Fernandinho because he was overthinking things, and look what happened. They ended up losing to Chelsea. He's made multiple tactical errors with his starting lineup, and it's really cost him. This just being another example. And now it's just really cost them, and it's basically results in them getting knocked out extremely early. They haven't even made the round of 16. And yeah, Pep just followed up by saying his decision, of course, is he can still play in big games. That's according to Pep. So he still thinks that De Bruyne has got some of that juice left in him. But personally, I think De Bruyne is not the same as he used to be even 2 seasons ago. And I think Man City are still trying to hold on to that De Bruyne from their treble-winning season. I've mentioned this before. But honestly, even though Kevin De Bruyne isn't, I think Pep realized that De Bruyne's form has kind of gone on the downward. And even though, of course, all the fans still want Pep to start Kevin De Bruyne, but Pep is thinking, you know what? I'm going to play some mind games here. I'm not going to start Kevin De Bruyne, and I'm going to see if that makes a difference in his decision. But yeah, it's just a big mess up. It's just a big mess up, and KDB's contract expires in the summer, and so far talks over a new contract aren't advanced at all. So what are your thoughts on this whole debacle mess up?
The thing I was going to mention here is he did also use De Bruyne, if I'm not mistaken, against Ancelotti's Real Madrid before, and he did have that impact. So maybe he was like, okay, if I don't put De Bruyne in, maybe that's going to create something, uncertainty for Ancelotti, and it might mess with his initial tactic, I guess you could say, because he would expect that De Bruyne would start. I don't really like that approach. I mean, I don't know what you think about that, but
I just think that
I'm just saying that I think that's what Pep was trying to.
I think Pep's technical decision, the fact that he said he didn't start De Bruyne because of a technical decision, just is stupid. I just see Pep always doing this, and I think it's just nonsense in my opinion. And it's just come back to bite him. I mean, play stupid games, win stupid prizes, right?
Yeah,
example of that. That's all I'm gonna say, honestly.
Yeah.
Any further thoughts on this, or?
No, I that's my comments on that. Justin, do you have any comments on that Pep semantics kind of situation with De Bruyne in this?
Yeah, I would say it's overthinking the lineup.
Yeah, for sure, overthinking. Yeah.
But going on to some more possible transfer news and rumors and big announcements. Well, this one's actually more of a question.
Yeah, it's more of a question.
Yeah, following Juventus's extremely premature early exit from the Champions League and possible question marks surrounding Motta towards the end of the season, would Zinedine Zidane be a possible alternative?
Yeah.
That's something you wanted to answer, right, Stefano?
Yeah, so I got a little notification, I guess you could say, from the AGC.
Shout out to the AGC. Shout out to the AGC.
Posting or I guess reposting a comment from, I just want to make sure I get this right, calciomercato.it on Instagram. He basically reposted the comment, which is basically saying an informal meeting between Zidane and Juventus technical director Giuntoli has taken place. This was a sort of a exploratory survey by the old lady to protect themselves in the event of a change in manager. And that was reposted by the AGC on February 14th. So, I mean, there's something there for sure going on with the manager. I think they're definitely looking into different alternatives for manager. And just, Giuntoli, I think, is definitely going in the right direction with this, in the sense of at least exploring different managers and at least getting those conversations going, rather than just doing all the conversations at once they've sacked. Like you don't want to do those conversations after you've already sacked. You want a swift transition. You want a manager to come in right away, rather than weeks later, or potentially a year later, while you have a fill-in manager in for Motta in this case, if he were to get sacked, right? So I think it's good that if this seems to be true, that they have met Giuntoli with Zidane. So this is a good start, regardless that they're actually going to at least explore different options and be ready for the switch if they so need to do it. Yeah. So what do you think of that, Justin, as well as Dimitri?
I think we'll go Justin first.
Yeah, we'll go Justin because the Juve fan. Yeah, we gotta get that take.
I think Zidane wants to win like immediately. If he takes over as like the manager for Juve. So I think it depends on like how like Juve can like develop as a side. I mean, right now Juve are, I would say, rebuilding. So Juve are like very young still, gaining experience. So I don't know if the timing would work. Like depending on like the experience, I would say, that the squad has.
Okay, I see what
For
you're
a
trying
moment
to say.
though, like I think the side is too young to like contend. And with that being the case, I would say Zidane, the timing to like sign Zidane as manager is not the right time yet.
Because basically what you're trying to say is that Zidane is more of a coach that requires the system to be already there, rather than
rather than win now. It's like a win now mentality. Like if Zidane takes over, I would say
he has to already have a system in place, and just kind of he basically doesn't have he doesn't have the time to rebuild the whole entire squad in like
that's how I
5-year period, whatever. Right. Like he's more of a kind of I guess you could say Conte kind of style. Conte's kind of similar that way. It's like when he's coming in, he wants to win right away. It's got to be his way or the highway, so to speak. And yeah, I kind of understand what you're saying there. What do you think, Dimitri, as well about that? Like Zidane, do you hold the same opinion that maybe it's a different, not the best timing for Zidane, or is it perfect timing for Zidane, as Juventus does have that potential to go farther than they should?
Well, it depends on Zidane with the French national team. Like whether the thing with that though is, so Didier Deschamps with the French national team, he's planning to leave after the 2026 World Cup. Zidane might want to hop in after that. But the thing is, like for Zidane, that's still like another year and a bit until he can have a chance of even getting getting himself into the managerial position with a national team. Because of course, national team is priority for someone like Zidane, of course, who won the World Cup with France. But also, he's a Juve legend, so if he wants to manage sooner, he could. Now would be a perfect opportunity since Juventus won him. There's a chance of Malta leaving. Honestly, yeah, it just really depends on whether Zidane wants to wait out for something that would yield higher results or to start managing in a scenario where the results could be either really good or really bad because Juventus has been very unpredictable. So, yeah, that's kind of it.
It's an iffy. It's kind of a situation where you have
pretty
to see
iffy
it.
For me, yeah.
See it happen in real time, and then you kind of make the opinions about it. Okay, yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
But I do want to say that if Zidane does end up taking the managerial position for Juventus, I already know that Zidane, he knows how to handle teams of very talented players, and Juventus do have talented players, and he'll know how to utilize them to the best of his abilities. We saw that when he first arrived in Madrid with Benzema, Bale, Ronaldo. So just imagine Zidane manage at the helm of Juventus, and he has an attacking lineup with the likes of Kolo Muani, and then behind him as center attacking midfielder Ademola Lookman, and then on the left wing you got
potentially
on Yildiz. If
we'll get into it in a second.
Yeah, and then on the I'm getting quite excited.
But they do have like that potential for sure. Like the Yildiz makes sense.
Yeah.
You know, makes sense for us to be hype about under a different manager because Yildiz definitely has like that potential. And then Kolo Muani, French connection, of course, right? And Kolo Muani, everybody says there's like almost no ceiling to how good he could be, right? There's just a player that has like unlimited potential. Even I would also mention like Conceição as well. Conceição, everybody sees as a high level already right now, but also in the future, a high level winger, and definitely high level winger in Europe in particular. So yeah, no, there's a very talented team, and I think Zidane gets the best out of talents. But I think like, yeah, definitely Chow has a little bit of a point there too, is that Zidane is more of a win now mentality, and unless they gave him the time to do it, like 5 years, 4 years, a manager role, then it's a different story. But I don't think Zidane is like one of those type of managers. It's like a Conte. How long does Conte ever stay? It's always going to be like 2 years. 2 years, maybe you're going to get 3. Or you get a Juve. Juve kept them, for I think it was 6 years or something like that. But that was a very particular scenario because Conte was always winning. So Juve's like, I just let him be type of thing. But yeah.
But I would say Zidane like would want to like get players that fit the system. Like if Zidane were like the manager, Zidane would want a certain types of players.
Yep.
Like,
I mean, he did. That's
Zidane would like request like acquisitions. Like that's what I feel is gonna happen. If Zidane like signs as the manager, there's gonna be like roster turnover. Like,
probably, yeah. That makes sense to me. Like, and then also you have to consider Zidane actually had Vinicius Jr. on the bench, and did not use him. And then you see Carlo Ancelotti taking the head of the table for Real Madrid, and he makes Vinicius Jr. the centerpiece.
But Vinny was young then, right?
But you get the point. It's like, but you still get the point. It's like he didn't want to take that time to put the time into Vinicius Jr. to eventually get results, right? He wants the results right away. I definitely have a point to make there. And pretty much all Juve is potential players. Like these are players that have
at the potential. There's like so many players that are young and developing.
That's right, exactly. Yeah. So yeah, we'll see what happens with Zidane.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. And the last announcement we're going to make, it's another Fabrizio tweet, but Fabrizio had made some comments about Salah, and I believe that for Justin, it really stuck out to you. So explain the drama behind this.
Yeah. Well, basically, Salah like basically commented on like the goal scoring record between himself and Haaland, and like basically said like it's more difficult for a winger to score that amount of goals compared to a striker. So I found that interesting.
That's the point Salah made?
Yeah. Salah said that.
Okay, I just want to say, Chow, in my opinion, I actually absolutely agree with Salah. I think for a winger, it's a lot harder to score goals than a striker. That's why Ronaldo's records when he started out in Manchester United were just totally unprecedented. And that's why at that time he was the Ballon d'Or winner in 2008, because it's
So
just
why is
for a
that
winger to do what
the
he's
case?
Huh?
Why
is
is
that the
that
case? Well, because first of all, you're in an outside position. You're not as central towards the goal. And you have less space to run around. And if fullback shuts you down, you just have
and you also
you have less. It's just you're more limited. Your space is more limited, and you really need to rely on speed. Yes.
Yeah, and you have more things to do. Striker is like get in that position, maybe create a chance here and there. But whereas a winger is like you must chance create, you must be fast paced on the wing.
You have to cross the ball.
You must be able to score a goal, cross the ball. And there's so many more elements to a winger than it is for a striker. I think Ronaldo is kind of crazy because Ronaldo's the only player that actually defied his position as a winger when it comes to goal scoring. And I think Salah's
especially at Man United.
Yeah. Salah's doing
this. He also played like centrally.
No, he played winger. He played also midfielder as well.
Sometimes.
And at Real Madrid as well, he did play winger. Real Madrid, and then after.
Okay.
But I do agree.
As a winger, you can like cut inside though. But I mean,
you can decide. But the thing is, you're getting shut down.
Yeah, you're getting shut down. You're going. The defenders are way closer.
Wait, what?
Defenders are way closer. Like they're marking you. You have a right back marking you or a left back marking you. Whereas like if you're a striker, you have the two center backs. But they're really like, are they really marking you directly? Like you can slip in between them.
Yeah, wingers. Right? It's much easier for defenders to shut you down.
Yes,
as a winger.
Yes, because they're only marking you. Like that's it, and that they just only watch you, and that's it, pretty much.
Yep. Yeah. So is that all really Salah made?
Yeah,
that's the point Salah made, because I do agree.
Yeah, that was really like the comments.
Okay.
I found that was like
Okay.
Do you want to also talk about the Lookman thing as well, or?
Oh yeah. We're so cool
because I feel like the Lookman thing is also interesting for Juventus.
Oh yeah, back to Juventus. Another big announcement regarding Juventus. So yeah, Lookman could be a potential player that Juventus could acquire, given Lookman's fallout with Atalanta now after their Atalanta's early departure against Club Brugge. So Juventus are definitely eyeing on this player. And yeah, what are your thoughts on that, Stefano?
Well, I have a thing also from the AGC, but again, like they're really amazing for giving out the latest on news. They reposted this as well. This is from originally Nico Skira on Instagram as well, or on Instagram. So he says Juventus has shown interest for Ademola Lookman in the last weeks. There was a meeting between Giuntoli and Di Amico at Biff Restaurant. Yeah, this is how like crazy they're going into this. But Biff Restaurant in Bergamo in January to ask info for him. Lookman wants to leave Atalanta, who have opened to his sale next summer. So yeah, this is definitely something that's on the cards for Juventus to actually do. This is not like a situation where it's we might get it. We might get a chance to get a Lookman. No, Lookman is actually seeking to leave. As far as I can tell, I don't know this confirmed, but as far as I can like tell based off of the news from Lookman and stuff like that, it seems like he does want to stay in Italy. He just wants Champions League football guaranteed almost every single season, and he wants to go to a bigger club. I mean, fair enough. He's 26 years old or 27, right? You know, he knows there's a peak to him. He's peaking right now, so he needs to play the best kind of in the best kind of competition right now. So fair enough. I think Lookman, obviously as a Juve fan, I would love Lookman at Juve, and again, he would fit absolutely with if, let's say, Zidane in the hypothetical sense would come. Like you said, Lookman would be amazing with Zidane. I think he would definitely.
Zidane also played center attacking mid.
There you go. Yeah. So it would just be a beautiful thing to see Lookman with Zidane. But we'll see. I think at the end of the day, you always have to take rumors with a grain of salt. But I think if any of the rumors are more closer to being real than others, I think it's going to be this Lookman one, because it seems like Lookman really just wants to definitely transfer and stay in Italy. That is what at least I'm seeing when it comes to these transfer rumors and stuff like that I've been seeing. What do you guys think of Lookman coming to Juve, and how kind of he would affect Juve, even with just Malta? Let's say Malta's still in, Malta's here, he's still in, and he gets Lookman. How does that kind of affect Malta's Juve, or does it change Malta's Juve in a very big way?
On to you, Justin.
Yeah, we'll give Justin first. Yeah.
I would say, yeah, Lookman is a very talented player, especially offensively, like creating, attacking wise. Like where would Lookman play though? Like
Attacking midfielder.
even in this system, like
Attacking
even in the
midfielder.
current system, would it be attacking mid?
Yeah, because Malta deploys 3 attacking midfielders and then 1 striker. So you just be, I mean, Lookman, takes the place of, for example, I think Mbangula goes there. I've seen Hoop Miners. I'm sorry, get out of here. I don't care. Like, yeah, he's by far better. Like, Lookman's by far better than Hoop Miners. I'm sorry, it's just true. But anyway, yes, he would go to the attacking midfielder position, and he would slot in for any of those guys that are not performing as well. And Mbangula's playing decent, but again, Lookman's always a different level to Lookman than Mbangula. Let's be honest.
There's levels.
There's levels to this game. That's it.
So Lookman would be considered an upgrade.
For sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That's an understatement, actually, to say it.
And he's clutch. And Juve needs clutch. Juve needs clutch. The only clutch player we have is Cole Mwani, and he just signed for Juve. So we can't really like put too much pressure on a just signed player. As well, on top of that, Cole Mwani isn't really the most consistent, you have to say, in Champions League in particular. Yeah, Serie A is one thing, but Champions League in particular, right? Cole Mwani isn't the most consistent, but guess what? Lookman is, in every sense. He can score against Real Madrid. He can score against all these other teams that are defensive as well too. And no, definitely upgrade. Even with Malta at the wheel, that's like still a big change, I think. What do you think, Dimitri?
Yeah, I agree with everything you said.
Really?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. No. Look,
do you think? Let's say Lookman comes in, and then Malta's still there, and like let's say they do well with Lookman at the center as the centerpiece, pretty much. Do you think Malta stays after the fact, or he's like
he will stay, but Juventus still won't be playing to their best potential?
That's true,
because it is at the end of the day. Even if you have excellent personnel, you still need a manager who knows how to really keep defense compact during high intensity situations, high stakes situations like the PSV game. And we obviously saw that Malta couldn't do that. It has nothing to do with whether you have a player like Lookman or not in those situations. So while maybe, sure, the attacking stats for Juve could be better in like Serie A or something, and Juve will probably draw less games for sure if they have someone like Lookman. In the Champions League,
but is it enough?
Yes, not enough. They probably won't make it past the quarterfinals. Even if Lookman on fire.
Yeah, that's true. It's true.
Yeah.
So ultimately, Malta changed. That happened.
Yeah.
Okay. I see.
Yeah. So now we are going to head into the main part of our podcast. We're basically going to discuss all the round of 16 games that were drawn earlier this morning, and all I can say is we've got some great classics that are going to be on the way. We've got some really
these are good ones.
I like there's some games that are definitely, it's just eye candy when you see them, and it just evokes past Champions League games in the knockout stages,
and
for example.
Champions League feelings.
It evokes feelings of like Champions League nostalgia, where back when back in the past decade,
Ronaldo, Messi era,
right. Just like that kind of vibe, just extremely high stakes, historical heritage matches. It's all there pretty much. So without further ado, we are just going to dive right into it. So the first game we're going to talk about, ready, big one off the bat, PSG versus Liverpool. With this game, all I can say is if you look at the attacking lineups of both of these teams, it's just like just absolutely like
Stacked
it's
for both teams.
stacked
For both teams.
Like we could just like, for example, you got Salah up there, you got Diaz, of course, Liverpool, and then for PSG, you got Kvaratskhelia, Barcola, Dembele. Like
No mention of Darwin Nunez.
oh, Darwizi.
Darwin Nunez.
Yeah, okay. You know what?
Well, you got to mention it.
He's a wild card. But
Yeah, he's a wild card, but he could score on the day.
if he turns up, it's gonna be clutch. That's all I can say with that player. So yeah, it's just with this game. Like, what are your thoughts on this stuff now?
My thoughts on this game is, it's going to be fiery. It's going to be lots of attacking plays.
Do you think PSG have a better attack?
Do they? Ooh, that's actually a really good question.
Yeah.
I would probably say yes.
Mm-hmm. And like
because we just talked about like Darwizi, like
but how will they impact? Yeah, that's true. But how do you think the lineups will be impacted based on PSG's up and like attack that's improved so much than Liverpool?
What I think the front three will be, I can add. Yeah, I think that's possible. That I think it's going to be. It's probably going to be Barcola. It's going to be Kvaratskhelia. It's going to be the same front three: Kvaratskhelia and then Dembele, right wing. Kvaratskhelia, striker.
Mm-hmm.
And then Barcola, left wing. If I'm not mistaken, he's left wing. So yeah, it should be something like that. Or they could also do again, Gonzalo Ramos, as striker.
Yeah.
But I think, definitely PSG will more so want to go with what worked last game, and I think that's what they're going to go with this one.
Yeah.
Liverpool is really amazing too. Again, like for Liverpool's, what I think their front three will be, it's probably going to be Darwin Nunez, striker. I could be Jota too, but probably Darwin Nunez, just Champions League experience. The guy's got lots of Champions League experience. Salah, right wing, and then left wing, Luis Diaz. Yeah, that should be it.
No, all I can say is that if you look at both of these teams' attacking lineups, there's a case to be made for PSG being able to knock out Liverpool. And I would say the ideal version of this tie is one where Ousmane Dembele and Mo Salah duel it out to prove themselves as who is the best forward.
That would be awesome. Yeah.
But honestly, I think the difference in the tie will be based on the defense of both teams, and I have to give the defense to Liverpool.
Yep,
having the better defense, and as I said, defense wins you these knockout stage games. With Liverpool, you have Trent and Robertson as fullbacks. Of course, both these players, the form has dipped, especially in Europe. Especially if you compare to their prime days in Europe, like 5 years ago, but they are still very reliable on their day, and they still have very great attacking prowess. Their defense could be questioned, but still, they could probably turn up in these big games. And then just with the center backs, of course, you have Van Dijk and Konate. Van Dijk, he's back to his best form that in 5 years, in my opinion, since his ACL injury, he is back to his very best, and he's just a nightmare to get around. And then, of course, Alisson in goal. He's just a great shot stopper. And even though he's injury prone, Liverpool's substitute goalkeeper Kelleher is probably the best backup goalie in the world right now. So regardless of what happens, if Alisson suddenly gets injured, Kelleher is still a great backup, and I don't see that being an issue for Liverpool. So yeah, I mean, I'm going to predict. Actually, I'm going to make things interesting. I'm going to share a bracket view, and I'm going to make my prediction here. So
okay.
Yeah, I'm going to just Chow. It'll be fun. Yeah, but this is basically my bracket.
But should we come to a consensus? Let's try to come to.
Okay, Chow. Okay, this is I'm sharing,
and then we'll select.
So what's your prediction, Chow? So what's your prediction?
So mine is probable. So we're just gonna say who's going through and not score, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, who's going through and who's not going through?
Yeah. Okay. I think you're always okay. If we're always going to say that Liverpool's a finalist, Liverpool by far. I mean, I think you just showed me the other day, or a couple hours before we did this started this podcast episode, that Opta analysts did increase the odds of Liverpool winning the Champions League. Therefore, you just kind of have to go with Liverpool going through here, and PSG unfortunately falling just short. I'll say just short. PSG will
yeah. So how about you, Chow?
I agree. It's going to be a close one, but I got Liverpool moving on.
Okay, we both agree on that. Then I'm going to put Liverpool through.
Yep.
To
all three. There you go. General consensus. There you go.
And yeah, just in terms of the game, the first round of 16 game is on Wednesday, March 5th at 12 p.m. Pacific time, and then second leg is Tuesday, March 11th. We'll send you more of the schedules when that time comes. But all we know now, all of us can agree that Liverpool's going ahead. So yeah, next game we are going to cover is also, this one actually is this was probably underwhelming. It looks underwhelming, but it could still provide plenty of entertainment. It's Club Brugge versus Aston Villa. I mean, so Club Brugge definitely have been on the upwards since basically
since they won their game. Yeah, since
Juventus and all that, and then of course since they beat Atalanta.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
but yeah, I mean, I just want to clear out like obvious ones, like Club Brugge. Even though they emerged victorious, unless they found some way to turn every shot into goal in against their game of Aston Villa, I assume Aston Villa will see them off. Given that Aston Villa's defense will probably
they got
really set up by Emery. Their defense, Aston Villa's defense will be better tactically set up by Emery. So I don't think they'll have that same opportunity in the Aston Villa game as they had against Atalanta. So because of that, I'm giving it to Aston Villa. Sorry. Yeah. So that's one. How about you?
I think for me, it's the biggest decision here, or the biggest reason why I'm going for this team that I'm going to say right now is the transfers. Aston Villa transfers are crazy.
Yeah.
They have Champions League players that have played multiple seasons in Champions League. For example, Marcus Asensio, I'm pretty sure. He's on Aston Villa. Multiple seasons with Real Madrid in Champions League. You have Marcus Rashford, who also signed for Aston Villa. Again, he does have quite a bit of Champions League experience, you have to say, for sure. And I'm forgetting the other player that went there. Haller, right? I think it's Haller. Yeah, I think it's Haller, if I'm not mistaken. But Borussia Dortmund player, striker. He also has Champions League experience. Yeah, you probably pull up the name, but for me, Aston Villa always is going to go through this. I said this before. Club Brugge really played their heart out against Atalanta. That is their best performance to date, and the best they can do. Actually, you know what I mean? Like, it's just the best they can do.
Haller is still at Dortmund.
Who's the player then? It's on Aston Villa. It's a Dortmund striker. Yeah, he's scored.
But Guirassi's still at Dortmund. So
no, it's not Guirassy. It's one of the Dortmund strikers. He's on Aston Villa now, if I'm not mistaken. And he scored a lot of crucial goals for Borussia Dortmund and has lots of Champions League experience. Yeah,
it's Malen.
There you go. That's what it is. Yeah, Malen. Lots of Champions League experience. I think he also did go to the final. I mean, you might correct me if I'm wrong, but I think he did go to the final, to the Champions League final against Real Madrid, the previous Champions League season. Unfortunately, Borussia Dortmund didn't go through that, but again, still a great experience for Borussia Dortmund to even get to that in the first place. But anyway, Aston Villa have way more Champions League players, Champions League level players in their squad, and that's why they should win against Club Brugge. And then to top that off, like I said, Club Brugge really played their heart out against Atalanta, and that's the best I believe they can do. I don't think they could do better than that performance against Atalanta. That is absolutely the best. Yep. It's very similar to the situation they did like PSV. It's on the said before, like PSV, they're a decent team at best, but they really just played their heart out and gave everything against Juventus. So that's you basically that's the best they could do, unless they could do the best they could do again. You know what I mean? Like, that's the only situation that I could see Aston Villa maybe losing one of these legs. But yeah, what do you think, Chow?
Yeah,
what do you think? What do you think, Justin? Yeah,
I'm going with the team that has more experience in this competition. Aston Villa, moving on.
Aston Villa.
Also, they won a Champions League. Don't forget that too. Aston Villa, Champions League winners. Did Club Brugge ever win a Champions League? I don't think so. I think we looked it up, and they never won a Champions League, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, they've been in the Champions League multiple.
Yeah, but they've never won.
They've never won. Yeah. So Aston Villa has. So there you go.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, so yeah,
We're all agreeing. This
yeah,
is good. This
good,
is
it's
good.
good, it's good. Okay, next one. We've got, of
Consensus.
course, this one is a real big classic in the Champions League: Real Madrid versus Atletico Madrid.
Yeah, this is
Uh,
big.
this just evokes memories of the 2014 final, where everyone knows Ramos's clutch header that kept Real Madrid in the game, and then ended up resulting in their La Decima win, and then also their Una Decima win, their 11th Champions League in 2016, where CR7 Cristiano scored the winning penalty in the penalty shootout. And yeah, honestly, yeah, this game is nothing short of just great stories and
And rivalries.
rivalries as well. It's just yeah, I mean,
yeah.
But honestly, based on their meetings this season so far, you would expect there's nothing to separate Real Madrid and Atletico Madrid because both are top of like they're very, very
top of the Liga basically.
Atletico's in second. I believe they're only like 1 point ahead of Real Madrid. Yeah, just double check the La Liga table. It's all very,
but they're close, right? Like that's the thing.
Extremely close. So yeah. Okay. Atletico Madrid are third with 50 points, and Real Madrid are second with 51 points. And they, it's just neck and neck stuff, and also the games have been neck and neck. However, the problem is there's a tendency for Atletico Madrid to freeze when they see Real Madrid on the European stage, based on, of course, the games.
What we've seen.
What we've seen, just track record. But to be honest, that might not be needed anyways, as Carlo Ancelotti's players are really getting into excellent form as of recently, most notably Mbappe. And because of that, I think they should be able to get the job done over the two legs. I'm picking Real Madrid to advance to the quarterfinals. How about you, Stefano?
Yeah, I think it's got to be Real Madrid here because, again, they're just coming off of a Champions League win, last season. So, and again, very similar team to last season, of course, but you still have likes of Mbappe, which just makes it even better. But regardless, Real Madrid is always going to be favored in this situation, just based off of their Champions League experience. Yeah, they definitely frighten Atletico a lot, and yeah, I think it's pretty. I don't think it's a pretty simple win. I think it's be super tight, regardless of if the general consensus most likely will be, Real Madrid winning this. I think it'll still be tight, but
it's always going to be tight.
Yeah, it's always going to be tight, just simply due to the fact that Atletico is super defensive. We know this; they have this crazy defense to them, and but unfortunately, I don't think it will be enough. I think the likes of Mbappe, Vinicius, Rodrigo, I could just keep going on and on. Could score and probably will score a goal and settle this game for Real Madrid to take it and to go to the next stage of the Champions League.
How about you, Justin?
Yeah, this one's gonna be close, just based on the fact that both teams are very familiar with each other. I just think Real Madrid have more offensively. Mbappe's getting more comfortable. I got Real Madrid moving on.
Okay, yeah. Still agree. Yeah, that's awesome.
I think so far. I think we're going to agree so far. But
we'll have to see. We'll see. Okay, the next game we got is PSV versus Arsenal. So, of course, PSV advancing after upsetting Juventus. They upset Juventus. And yeah, they're going up against Arsenal, who, according to Opta analysts, are third best favorites based on stats to win the Champions League.
Based on stats.
But
asterisks.
Yeah, just on stats.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, Arsenal. It's if you do look at this Arsenal versus PSV game, I mean, it's just like their attack is a bit storied. Like, you have some players like Havertz who aren't always super clinical, but on their day, Havertz is a wild card as well. And then, of course, you got Saka, Saka is Arsenal's star boy. I find he does have injury issues, but he's always reliable. And I just see them. It should be, honestly, nothing else. I can, like, PSV, their last good game was against Juventus. They can celebrate now, but sorry, you're. I don't think you're going to be Arsenal.
You're out of here.
You're out. Yeah, you agree with me, Stefano?
Oh, absolutely. I think I said this in the live stream as well. PSV will get destroyed by either Inter or Arsenal. Obviously, Arsenal's a little bit better for PSV. You could argue this, but Arsenal still is just super. I actually think they're quite clinical. I think they're quite clinical. Arsenal. I think they finish their chances when they do get them. Obviously, I do believe in what you said with Havertz. Wild card, absolutely. But you have Bukayo Saka, who's just super clinical player, especially in Champions League as well. And I think Arsenal take this pretty simple. I would say.
Do you think Arsenal's defense will hold up? Because if Arsenal's defense,
we both said this though. Arsenal's defense is defender wise and also tactically speaking, has just been really the best, the best in Europe and really been amazing.
Yeah, so they'll be able to show PSV. They'll be able to show PSV because the thing with PSV against Juventus is Juventus's defense wasn't able to shut them out. I think that was the big difference. Whereas PSV, Arsenal's defenders will be able to.
Juventus's
defense was
just period. Yeah.
Sitting back.
Sitting back, that's right.
Yeah, so Chow, who do you think is going through?
For this one, Arsenal's clearly the better side and will advance.
Okay. Well, all I can say is
they ain't no you
Gunners. What?
Up you Gunners? Yeah. But I was just saying they ain't Juve. They are not Juve. Arsenal's not Juve.
Yeah.
They are the different different gravy.
So. Yeah. Next one. This is also interesting. Feyenoord versus Inter. So Feyenoord, I would say, I was about to say miraculously, deservedly going past week.
Oh, it kind of is miraculously though.
No,
it is a miracle.
Theo Hernandez. Well,
it's a Cinderella story.
Feyenoord going through now, going against they're going against Milan's other team, Inter Milan, AC Milan's arch rival. It'll be interesting how things kind of unfold here. All I can say is, this one,
pretty simple.
It should be pretty simple. Like, I'm looking at it like Feyenoord, they can't play well against Italian teams, but honestly, as long as Inter's defense holds up, it should be pretty simple for them. And then it's mainly the defense. If Inter's defense is able to do their job, it's going to be Inter's attack will just score the goals, and Feyenoord won't really find a way through. So
there's only one thing about it.
I'm giving it to Inter. It's really one-dimensional.
There's only one thing about Inter here that we have to take in consideration. Inter's attack has not been that clinical.
Well,
this season, come on.
Yeah, true.
Champions League season, they have not been defense titles, but can they get the goal? Like, you know what I mean? Like, they, even with Martinez on, Lautaro Martinez or, Thuram, Marcus Thuram, it's not been clinical. I mean, you also have Taremi there too, but like these guys are amazing, within in season, clinical wise, like for Serie A, I would say generally speaking. But in Champions League, they have not shown this at all. So that's my only if about it, I guess you could say. But again, it should be Inter. I'm always gonna say, like Inter should win this. Feyenoord, they got some interesting. They have an interesting attack. They do have a pretty good midfield, decent defense, but it's a young team, and Inter should have this great experience gap. Here in this fixture, Inter should take it. But all I'm going to say is that this actually might be tight, just due to the fact that Inter cannot score.
Yeah, but you're still Inter go through.
Yes, okay. Inter goes through, but again, I don't want it to be tight, but that's just what it's probably going to be.
Yeah. How about you,
tight?
Chow?
Just based off of that.
How about you, Chow? Who's going through?
Inter's winning.
Okay, Inter's winning. Okay.
Yeah, I love how Jay Chow just goes, Inter's winning.
No, I mean, no.
Like one sentence, yeah.
It's not.
Yeah, I gotta get.
Yeah, I know. It's
that's the compass. We need to hear that with the Italian team.
Hey, but here I think there's gonna be some debate here. Next game we got is Bayern Munich versus Bayer Leverkusen.
There will be debate here.
These teams have gone against each other quite a bit, especially more recently. And these teams are both top of the Bayern Munich is the top of Bundesliga. Leverkusen trailing behind, trying to get the edge over Bayern in the league. And honestly, in the last game, the last Bayern game, Leverkusen honestly should have beat Bayern, but they hit the post 3 times and woodwork 3 times, unfortunately. But honestly, just given these two teams and how they played since Alonso's arrived at Bayern Munich, since Alonso has arrived at Bayer Leverkusen, he has either won or tied all his games. So he hasn't lost against Bayern Munich. Yeah, and he used to be a player for Bayern Munich as well. So he hasn't lost against Bayern Munich as a Leverkusen coach. He, of course, has beaten them once 3-0 in a game last season. That was very memorable. And that ultimately was kind of the moment where I personally realized, I watched this game with Stefano, we realized, after this game, they won 3-0. They're winning that was in February, and we already knew after that game, they're winning the Bundesliga. So this is always a very, very definitive game for both teams. And given Alonso's record and just how the team's been playing recently, yes, Bayer Leverkusen might not win the league because of their inability to close games. That was earlier in the season. But as of right now, I mean, Bayern have a superior attack, but Alonso he's found ways to quell that, especially in their last matchup, because Harry Kane in their last matchup, which was I've mentioned in the league, which finished 0-0, he only had 2 shots. And often the Champions League comes down to a question of whose defense you can trust, and it will be Leverkusen's, because Kane was only held to 2 shots, and Kane is in great form now. So I'm going to mark Leverkusen as the dark horses for the tournament. I mean, they've just got the defense. They're just a great all-round team. Of course, the center of it all is, I don't care what you say, best player in Bayer Leverkusen, Granit Xhaka. He's the quarterback of Bayer Leverkusen.
Okay.
Florian Wirtz is excellent, but he's not doing anything isn't for the service from Granit Xhaka. He's the glue. He's the link between defense and attack. He's literally Bayer Leverkusen's quarterback. Definitely underappreciated. So I think it'll be a big game for Xhaka. And that's all.
So wait. What's your prediction?
I'm Leverkusen. Leverkusen will go through. I'm giving us Leverkusen.
So I have some disagreements. Okay. So simply, Bayern Munich have way more experience, to say the least, in Champions League than Leverkusen. Now, can they translate this advantage into them winning? That's iffy. That's the only thing. So with me, Leverkusen, they have Xabi Alonso, they have this great Granit Xhaka, they have great attack as well. Florian Wirtz,
Patrick Schick
as well is in form. They have great talents and stuff like that. And again, you have that Xabi Alonso, who's an amazing coach. We already know this, but can they topple a Bayern Munich?
Vincent Kompany's buy. Vincent just got by Celtic. Just scraped by.
Yeah, but it's Bayern Munich in the round of 16, so they're going to have that pressure, which they love that. They love that pressure. And I think they probably will perform in this game. Finally, we're going to see Bayern Munich actually start performing at the highest level.
Even based on the league form between these.
I think, so the thing is with Bayern Munich, I think they need pressure. I think they need to be squeezed. They need to be pushed. They have to, because that's kind of what, they have it on easy mode. You know what I'm trying to say? It's PSG, for example, same thing. They have it on easy mode, but when they get that pressure going and the players want to play and they're ready and then they want to get a comeback or whatever it is, they play totally different, right? So I feel like Bayern Munich, I feel like Leverkusen will start it off by winning the first leg, but I think Bayern Munich will absolutely have fire to win that second leg, and that alone will get their talented players to start playing to the level where they need to. For example, Musiala. For example, Harry Kane. They have so many other players as well. Olise, you could even say hasn't been playing at the level he should be, especially in that Celtic game. Once they have fire, though, right? In their souls to actually.
The company will actually be able. It's not just the players. You have to look at company.
I think company too, though. But I think company, when he realizes there's pressure, he needs to win this game. He'll change his tactic. He'll do something that will lead to them eventually taking this from Leverkusen at the last moments. I think this is definitely viable. Oh, and not to mention Alphonso Davies' last-minute goal against Celtic. You know what I'm trying?
Goal. He literally tackled.
Yeah, but you know what I'm trying to say? It's Bayern Munich know how to and do score last-minute goals to win the tie.
Have you forgotten about the ultimate team that? The team that we're scoring in the last minute is their bread and butter, Bayer Leverkusen, Leverkusen. They are the masters.
Yeah, but the Bayern is two though. That's the thing.
Oh no, Leverkusen.
I think it's. I think it's.
known.
I think it's. It would be a sad. I guess you could say that you would say a team that like Bayern Munich will be if they were to lose would be toppled by a up and coming Leverkusen team. That's what I'll say.
Okay, you know what?
That's what I'll say.
Over to Justin Chow for the tiebreaker.
But I feel like Justin Chow's a tiebreaker here.
Okay, yeah, Justin, who do you think is going to advance over the two legs, Bayern Munich or Bayer Leverkusen?
All right, I have Bayern winning.
There you go. Look at that reaction.
Experience.
Come on. Okay.
In this tournament.
I feel like it's 50-50. Dimitri, I'll give you that.
No, you know what?
I think it's 50-50.
You know what? You two said Bayern, so I'm on the UCL bracket that I've pulled up here. Are
you gonna be fair?
I'm gonna select majority rules.
Okay.
Wow. So it's gonna be Bayern Munich versus Inter in the quarterfinals.
All right.
We move, but you know what? It's gonna be a tight game. Expect drama. Honestly, I think.
Oh, absolutely,
it's gonna be the most exciting game of the tournament.
Yeah.
Of course, yeah.
Oh, barring Real Madrid, Atletico.
Yeah.
Right.
But it's essentially the German version of Real Madrid Athletic.
Yeah, it is.
Essentially.
Right.
So, yeah. Next game we got, though, is Dortmund versus Lille. So, all I can say of this team is Dortmund, in terms of their offense, Guirassy creates a lot offensively. He's involved in pretty much all the goals so far in this tournament. And then, so you got the offensive threat of Guirassy from Dortmund against Lille's up-and-coming defensive threat, Jonathan David. Of course, Canadian national team player, so we definitely like to see him scoring a lot of goals. It's awesome for us, and yeah.
But can he have influence in the Dortmund game? That's the question.
That's a good question, and yeah, that's what we're gonna really look into. It's gonna be, I think it's a great matchup in terms of both these teams have really up and coming offensive players like that, the ones I just mentioned. This one's gonna be a tight one to call. I mean, honestly, Dortmund, even though they have more European experience, it probably doesn't count for too much because this season, Lille have been the better team. If you're just looking at the group stages, they beat Real Madrid. Of course, it was a Real Madrid where Mbappe was bad, but they still beat Real Madrid. They also beat Atletico Madrid. Of course, it wasn't the strongest Atletico Madrid, but Lille still beat Atletico Madrid. And honestly, because Lille's been the better team, and I'm just looking at this season, you can't just always look at the past and experience. Of course, that matters, but for a team like Dortmund, you can't really take too much into account they had experience in the final because a lot of their players now have left.
Really?
Yeah, especially now. I mean, you only have
you still have Adeyemi.
Yeah.
You still have Adeyemi. You still have Guirassy.
Not in top form. It's only Guirassy. Guirassy is the only player, and Guirassy is a new signing.
Adeyemi legit scored 4 goals.
But look, Guirassy, he wasn't in Dortmund's team that made it to the Champions League final. He's still pretty inexperienced.
Yeah, but he was there though, and he definitely led to them. He was there, and he led to them
in the final last year. No, he wasn't. He was at Stuttgart.
He wasn't at Dortmund.
He wasn't at
really.
Dortmund. It's the final.
Oh, maybe I was thinking like Malen. I think
no, you're thinking of another player.
I think it was Malen.
Guirassy has had no experience.
But for sure, Adeyemi for sure.
Okay, Adeyemi for sure
was there. Julian Brandt. I know he was there. Julian Brandt was definitely. Honestly, they have some players.
Honestly,
previous.
I'm still giving it to Lille. That's all I can say. Stefano, what do you think? You probably disagree.
You're wait. You're actually like confident in Lille.
I think I'm confident, bro. Jonathan David. Okay, I'm not being biased. Okay, you can say I'm biased because but no.
All I'm gonna say is I know you love the underdog teams, but let's not get too too hyped up. With the underdog teams. I love Jonathan David too, but I mean you have Guirassy in great form. Adeyemi, I just said, in a given game, he destroys teams with his pace.
I mean, in the big games like the final against Real Madrid last year, Adeyemi did not turn up.
Sure, but this is not a final.
But still, it's a big game.
This is not, it's a big game, but it's not a final. Okay. Final is totally different to a round of 16.
Yeah.
No, I think Dortmund should take this. I think Lille have obviously, an interesting attack. Obviously, we both love Jonathan David. I mean, I think Chow as well, and all Canadians do. But Lille, I just can't see it. I can't see Lille getting through Dortmund here. The only way I see it, I guess, is if Dortmund really just kind of have a Celtic. You know that Celtic game where it ended 0-0? Sorry, not Celtic. Who did they verse? Sporting 0-0. if they have that type of game and they can't finish the chances, I give it to Lille.
But
They're more critical.
They were already 3-0 up on aggregate. Dortmund already 3-0 up on aggregate. So
yeah, but if they have that type of game where they can't score goals,
I don't think they will.
I don't think they will either. But I'm saying if they do, that's the only way I see Lille taking that because Lille's clinical. Yeah, I don't think there's any question about that.
Lille is extremely clinical.
Dortmund, if they can be clinical and they should, when they should be clinical, they should take this in every sense of the word. What do you think?
Yeah, what do you think, Chow? You're the tiebreaker again.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I would say it's gonna come down to which striker plays better, Guirassy or Jonathan
That's
David.
a good take. Wait, that's a good take. Yeah. That's a good take.
Because Guirassy creates so much offensively for Dortmund. He's been involved in all the goals so far this tournament. So he's definitely a big part on the attack. And then Jonathan David needs to step up in a big match. This is a big moment. He has to seize the opportunity and just make an impact here. Based on this, I have to go with Dortmund just because I think Dortmund just have slightly Dortmund will just know
what to
based
do.
on experience what to do, how to win.
You're pulling the experience card, but you know what? Fair play.
It's a fair play, yeah, but it's a fair play.
Yeah. Majority rules, Dortmund going through to the quarterfinals.
All right, Juve fans agreeing. What a shock.
Okay. Well, yeah, now the last game we were going to cover,
good, though.
this one's also going to be a really great one based on playing history.
That's
Benfica versus Barcelona. Okay, look, we already know that the best game in the Champions League so far has probably been that game earlier in the league phase. Benfica versus Barcelona, that game ended 5-4. Goals galore, back and forth football. Rafinha playing at his absolute best, proving again why he's in Ballon d'Or contention. And yeah, I mean, this one's gonna be just
crazy.
Just crazy. Hopefully, it'll be the same sort of drama. But yeah, I mean, Benfica, honestly, based on that last game, they do evidently have the quality to push Barcelona all the way. But Hansi Flick will surely learn the lessons of that previous 5-4 win that he played at Benfica Stadium. Also, an example of that would be not asking Wojciech Szczesny to cover so much space as a sweeper keeper, to be a bit more conservative as a keeper. So,
or maybe not even playing him.
Yeah, who knows? That'll be a big thing. But I think Flick will know how to handle that given his experience in the Champions League before, especially winning with Barca in 2020. So because of Flick's management in these situations and how Flick is usually able to take lessons from previous games, and Barcelona did learn a lot of lessons from that narrow victory over Benfica. I'm giving this victory to Barcelona. They will, over the two legs, beat Benfica and advance to the quarterfinals. How about you, Stefano?
Yeah, I absolutely agree with that. Barcelona should take this. I mean, if we ever think that they're going to be a finalist, which both me and Dimitri really do believe that there's a good chance that they can be a finalist. I mean, they got to beat a team like Benfica. And if they can beat a team like Benfica, that just gives them even more momentum, because that's you beat a Benfica level team, passion, have the players, right? They're super stubborn kind of team. They don't want to lose. You beat that type of team, you could beat any team. If I'm being honest, it's really hard fought victory if you beat Benfica. And yeah, I think Barcelona should take it though, just simply due to the fact of their talent, of Rafinha, of Yamal, of Lewandowski. Yeah, Szczesny is definitely
he's a liability
of the team, but again, you have that reserve goalie. I can't remember his name right now, but
Iñaki Peña.
Iñaki Peña, yeah. Okay. And so you have him there, so you can easily put him in and not put Szczesny in. But who knows? I don't know what he does, but I don't think he's good. I don't think whoever the goalie is, it shouldn't be a problem. It shouldn't be a problem for Barcelona. Again, especially like you just said, Hansi Flick will know how to deal with this. He's it happened to him the first time with Szczesny. So he's gonna have to deal. He'll deal with it. I'm guessing. For the next games, the next games here against Benfica. So Barcelona should take this based off of talent alone, and probably you could even say better management as well too.
For sure. You agree with us, Justin?
Yeah, I would say
Super hard to win though.
Benfica always play best against like the bigger clubs.
That is true. But that's
Like
what I'm
this
saying. I don't think they'll
season.
still win, but they'll make it very hard for Barcelona.
It'll be close. It'll be a close one.
Many goals.
Barcelona.
Barcelona. Okay. Yeah. Well, yeah. We finally agree again.
Victoria.
There we go.
Yeah.
We only disagree with two things.
Yeah. Well, looks like we got all the round of 16 predictions on this.
So what does that look like when it comes to who's versing who?
Yeah.
If
We won't get too far ahead of ourselves.
Okay.
But like for the quarterfinals, it'll look sort of like this: Arsenal versus Real Madrid, Liverpool versus Aston Villa, Barcelona versus Dortmund, and Bayern Munich versus Inter. Those are going to be fun games
That's
as well.
crazy.
But of course, we don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves. And now that we've done the predictions for the round of 16, we're going to head into the last part of our podcast. We're going to do a little activity or little game. We're basically going to do start, bench, sell. So, Stefano, you want to explain how that works?
Yeah, basically start, bench, sell. I've been seeing it on a lot of social media platforms, people doing it, a lot of podcasts doing it. I thought it was a fun game. It's like basically how it works is, you choose 3 players that are really close in either position or just form and all that.
Yep.
And then you have to very painstakingly select which player you would start in your team or have them start in that particular position. Bench, put them on the bench, not play them, but still have them accessible to you.
Mm-hmm.
And sell, which is just to get rid of them entirely, not have them on your team.
Mm-hmm.
So this is going to be really tight, and there will be arguments. I already know we're about to have it.
Yeah.
But let's let the chaos begin. That's all I'm going to say.
So what's the first one?
The first one I got is start, bench, sell, Musiala, Florian Wirtz, or Lewandowski. I'll let Dimitri go, and I'll let Justin go, and then I'll say my...
Okay. Okay. Well, these are all players that have played or are playing at the top level, highest level possible in the Bundesliga, breaking multiple records, of course. Man, this is gonna be hard, but yeah, all Bundesliga legends. So who do I start? And this is like, yeah, okay. I think, I'm overthinking it. And is this based on current form or all-time form? Actually,
all-time form.
Yeah, all-time. Oh yeah, okay. Well, you know what? Yeah, okay. I'm gonna start.
Let's do current. I feel like we're talking about Champions League.
Yeah. You know what?
Let's do current. Let's do current.
Well, Lewandowski's now playing at Barcelona, but you know what? You can still compare him to the likes of Musiala and Wirtz.
Absolutely in form, though. Lewandowski's absolutely in form.
True. Okay. Oh,
maybe Musiala less.
I gotta think Europe. Okay, I gotta think Eurocentric, not Bundesliga centric. Okay, who do I start? You know who I'm gonna start? I'm gonna start Florian Wirtz.
Ooh,
why?
Leverkusen bad.
That's why. Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna start Wirtz over the likes of Musiala or Lewandowski. People are gonna say, why not Musiala? Okay, yes, Musiala. In terms of like when you watch him on the pitch, yes, dribbling the best. He's almost like a magnet. You cannot dispossess him. But Wirtz is more of a team player. He has more. I don't know the exact stats, but I've heard in certain metrics, when it comes to all types of metrics of an offensive player, Wirtz is basically, other than dribbling, Musiala trumps that. But everything else, Wirtz is better if you look at the stats. And essentially, he has to do much more things on his own. Musiala has the likes of much more experience around him, much more experienced players, whereas the team really, for Leverkusen, centers around Wirtz. Of course he has Xhaka to help him out, but and Grimaldo and Frimpong, but he still has to do a lot more on his own. He's like kind of the centerpiece of Bayern Leverkusen, whereas Musiala, you can't really say he's the centerpiece of Bayern Munich.
Really?
No, I'd say it's Harry Kane.
I feel like he wants to be.
Of course he wants to be.
I feel like he wants to be. I think Musiala is absolutely the Bayern Munich's golden boy and the centerpiece of the team. There's no question about that. Musiala is absolutely the centerpiece of Bayern Munich for sure.
Yeah, but
for sure. Oh, really?
Yeah, I
don't
mean,
think so.
both of them are now like in a title showdown. But I mean,
That's true. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, if you're looking at just like the players, though, man, it's a tough one.
So you're not considering Lewandowski here at all?
Yeah, I'm selling Lewandowski, man.
Okay. You're already stacking him up. Stack him up.
He's clutch, but he's just not the same as he used to be. Yeah, I'm not the best in this game, but you know what? I do my
I try to make it as difficult as possible.
yeah, you make it hard.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this from certain bots. But yeah, sorry, man, Wirtz, man, and also just what Wirtz did for Bayer Leverkusen when they won their first Bundesliga title is just unparalleled to what Musiala did when Bayern won their Bundesligas, right? With Leverkusen.
Oh, it's current form though.
Yeah, like Wirtz.
Current form though.
New heights. Okay, current form. I'm still going Wirtz, man.
Okay.
Musiala benching, Lewandowski selling. Okay, next one.
Or do you want to go with Justin, or do you want to go through all of them?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, let's go Justin. Okay, Justin, if you got a take on this, who would you start, bench, sell? Musiala, Wirtz, or Lewandowski?
Okay, so first I have a question. So there's 2 attacking mids here and 1 striker. So
Okay, that's good.
That's a
Yeah,
fair
like,
game, but
the position.
yeah. I
is
said
not
form. I said like
specific.
similar form. I said similar
Pretty
form
obvious.
as well. It's either similar positioning, or they can play that position. You know, all of them can play the position, or the similar form. In this case, it's kind of both in some ways, because obviously Musiala and Wirtz can play the center attacking midfielder, but I also have seen Wirtz absolutely as a striker. I've seen Lewandowski as a striker, of course, too. And Musiala has played as a striker, although a false 9 player, kind of a.
Okay. So
Let's go form. Let's go form for this one. So this is like just purely form, how they're doing. What is your take on this?
Wait. So will the position, like, should the position be taken into account?
It's just form. It's just current form. You know how.
Yeah, I might have to use position though. Like,
Okay, sure. Yeah. Use whatever metric in which you see, a player, one of the players over the other.
All right. So just based on positional flexibility, I gotta put Lewandowski like third here. Just like, because the other 2 can play striker, but Lewandowski's never been an attacking mid. So just purely off that, I would have Lewandowski
I don't know.
third.
Maybe he has been attacking me. We would have to take a look at that, but
He hasn't, bro.
he's never had. Okay,
I don't
we have to all time though. I don't know, but anyway, we're going off.
to say that is not the case. I would say.
Yeah.
I'm fairly confident about that. So it's between Musiala and Wirtz for me. I gotta go with. Okay, I gotta go with Florian Wirtz. Just based on like the calmness and composure under pressure. That allows him to, like, I would say that allows him to perform and excel in like the big moments. So I gotta go with Wirtz over Musiala here.
I just love how Dimitri and Justin are agreeing with this one. So I feel like this is good. This is good. We need this content. We need some agreements. But also some disagreements too. So this is good. And then Musiala, I guess you would bench, right, in this sense.
Yeah.
Okay. So
It's start bench sell. I was ranking.
So you're starting.
I was ranking.
Well, that's what
Start Wirtz, bench Musiala, sell Lewandowski.
Okay. Sounds good. That is, I gotta be honest, the thing I'm probably going with as well. I think Wirtz is just like Dimitri said, he is super pivotal to Leverkusen. Even especially now, I still think he's probably more pivotal to Leverkusen than Musiala is for Bayern. Musiala is having a dip in form. You have to admit that. You have to. He has with Bayern. Lewandowski kind of is in pretty constant form, but I would say Wirtz is still just crazy, level form, and more important to Leverkusen, like Dimitri said. So I would actually start Wirtz. I would bench. Ooh, this is wait. Hold on. I'm going off of right now though. So this is me right now. This is form. This is just pure form right now. Florian Wirtz start. Bench Lewandowski because Lewandowski is super consistent right now. Very consistent. Yeah. He is very much needed for Barcelona. And just based off of the fact that Musiala hasn't been performing now,
Celtic,
especially against Celtic, I'm selling Musiala.
Oh,
so I'm giving a little bit different take for you guys.
Okay.
By you guys, right?
Well, yeah, that's good to know. What's the next one?
Okay, so next one. This one's more about the attacking midfielder. This is position based, absolutely. This is a start bench sell for Griezmann, Lookman, and Bellingham. Dimitri, go ahead.
Oh my. Okay,
this is crazy. This one's crazy.
Okay, this is what I'm gonna do. I am going to start Jude Bellingham as of right.
No, what?
No, I don't.
Wait. No, that's crazy.
No, he's been on.
I'm not trying to like troll right now. I'm just like, I'm actually. Oh, wow.
Starting, yeah.
Really?
Right now, because he's been informed. He's like, of course, he isn't scoring as many goals as he used to like last season. That's
just because the way you said, so that you're gonna sell one of Griezmann or Lookman? No chance, bro. Wait.
Yeah. Honestly,
wait.
Yeah, Lookman, I'm going to bet.
Dang.
He's still excellent, but he's been injured recently, and there's some issues of where he could potentially land anyways. So, yeah, and then sell Griezmann. You're making this hard.
Wow, that's crazy.
I mean, okay, I'm just gonna look. I'm gonna pull up the internet now. I'm gonna see Atletico Madrid. I'm just gonna see like whether Griezmann's been scoring some goals. Okay, so if I look at La Liga games, man, you made this hard for me. What are you gonna do? Is my head's hurting, bro.
It is really hard. I will agree. With that.
Griezmann, last match in La Liga.
You gotta also consider current form too.
Atletico, Real Madrid, no goal. But I mean, Griezmann could be like influencing all those. But I just, I mean, do you have the stats for that? Because like I'm just, my head's about to burst.
Well,
bro.
Griezmann absolutely has.
Okay, he scores clutch goals
in Champions League.
Make this so hard
so far. And then Bellingham, maybe not Lookman, but Bellingham for sure. He's had 4 involvement.
What I'm saying. You know what? Start Bellingham, bench Griezmann, sell Lookman. That's all I'm saying.
What's the sell on Lookman? What's that?
Because he's been injured and
okay, fair enough. That's true. That's true.
And
okay,
he needs to find another club anyways. So that's what you sell players for.
Oh, so he's already going to be sold. So that's Okay. I see.
But I don't know. In a year, things could totally change. He might start over these 2 players if he's finds somewhere new and doesn't say. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
And Justin, what do you think of this one here? Start bench sell Griezmann, Lookman, or Bellingham?
I will start Bellingham. Bench Lookman.
Wait.
And sell Griezmann.
Yo.
Oh no, he's a bit different.
And so what's your why sell Griezmann and why bench Lookman?
Well,
and I guess you could say also why start
Bellingham. I would prefer to have Lookman over Griezmann. Just I think based on like Lookman's more impactful like club based like for the club than Griezmann, I would say.
Yeah, so, and recent you would kind of say recent games too, right?
Do that. Yeah. And based on the current form as well. Yeah, basically that's for the clubs.
This is tight. I feel like we're all gonna disagree here.
That's what.
That's what it's for. This is all gonna be disagreement here. Okay, but you both agreed that Bellingham should start. Okay.
Yeah.
So for me, I would say I have to start. If I can get a fully fit Lookman, I start Lookman.
Okay.
I start Lookman.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, I do.
Okay.
I start Lookman if I get a fully fit Lookman. He has by far been, we're not going off of injury Lookman. We're going off of, form, Champions League form. kind of current
Syria.
form, what we've seen,
Syria, yeah.
and Lookman for me takes the cake as an center attacking midfielder as well. He's just been the most informed center attacking midfielder in the world, no question about that in my mind, and also consistent when he's not injured, of course, but consistent. So I have to start Lookman. I'm gonna say that I have to start Lookman. I'm going to bench Griezmann. Now I'll explain
What?
that. Yeah, I'm gonna explain that. So Griezmann, by far has been the most crucial centerpiece, and he is a centerpiece of Atletico Madrid's comeback in the first place to actually be in the position that they are now. If you don't have Griezmann, like how influential Griezmann is in this current campaign for Atletico Madrid as an attacking midfielder, as a centerpiece kind of a player for Atletico Madrid, yeah, like it's too much to say, yeah, I'm going to sell Griezmann. It's too much. And then, and in the case of like not putting Bellingham there instead, is Bellingham. Two things. Mainly, Bellingham has not played a center attacking midfielder role in a decent while. Okay, so I kind of have to say,
Griezmann can't play center mid either.
No, we're talking about center attacking mid. This is center attacking midfielder. Bellingham, we've seen it a couple times this season, but it's not just that though. It's also
Bellingham is more like positional, like flexibility.
But he's meant to be goals. Bellingham's also meant to be goals. He's also meant to be assists. He also has.
Yeah, Bellingham. Well, it's not always. It's like it should be impact. I think it should be for this.
Yeah, and then you can't deny though.
Bellingham has more impact, like for his club than Griezmann.
No way.
Like Griezmann's important, but like Griezmann doesn't really like.
Griezmann doesn't really have impact.
No, Griezmann has.
No, man.
Especially he's very clutch. He scores a lot of goals. Like
no, they would. No. You cannot deny this. Atletico Madrid would never ever be in the position. They would be out.
I already told.
They would be out without Griezmann.
Absolutely.
Then obviously you have
Alvarez.
Then but that's after because you got the transfer, and then he actually started to play more consistently. Yeah. That's a different story. I'm talking about before this. Atletico Madrid won pivotal games before they had Alvarez there, because Griezmann was the one providing the assist, providing the goal, and even still up to this day, he still is providing that assist or goal. It's just in the case of giving it to an Alvarez.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, influence. This is the big key reason.
Griezmann plays more advanced usually though, so it should be.
All three of them are attacking midfielder. That is their preferred position. There's no question.
No
question about it. Bellingham
has more impact. For me.
No. So Bellingham, because Real Madrid, how they're set up, Real Madrid is set up so well in creating chances and all that. And again, you have a player that can get into Bellingham's position, for example.
Bellingham's also better defensively than Griezmann.
But we're not talking about defense. We're talking about positioning, attacking midfielder.
It's overall impact. It should be overall
impact. Yes, Griezmann has more overall impact.
Bellingham scored way better defensively, and less.
Yeah, but it's not just that. It's the impact and importance of a particular squad.
Part of the impact.
No, like the impact.
Part of the impact here. It's.
Okay, Dimitri, you cannot deny this. Wait, listen, Dimitri, answer this. I know you're trying to get out of this combo, but let's hold on. Okay, listen, yeah. Listen. You cannot deny Griezmann has had a more crucial impact to his given club than Bellingham has during this Champions League season.
This Champions League season? Yes. I agree with you.
Okay, so there you go. Just
so actually, Justin. Maybe then I have to not start Bellingham. But you're just confusing me, bro.
No, my point, because me and Justin are arguing, okay, who has more...
Bellingham.
I'm saying Griezmann all the way.
Yeah, Griezmann.
All the way. And that is why...
What about the defense?
Okay.
But defense is not... It's not just about defense. When you're attacking mid...
Yeah, I know, but
you have this...
Maybe it's like the hardest thing ever.
I feel, but I have to defend what my point is.
Yeah.
And then Bellingham, like I said, attacking midfielder-wise, we haven't seen it for a little while. And even when he does get in that attacking midfielder position, it's not as many goals as he used to as he previously
Wait, but
had.
this is about the player as well, like overall impact. Like I
It's
said,
overall impact, yes. Lookman has by far the greatest impact.
Bellingham has more impact just based on the fact that defense.
Okay, Griezmann decides games. Bellingham decides how big the
Bellingham's-
scoreline is. I will hold that statement right there.
Games
Griezmann
matter.
decides wins or losses, whereas Bellingham decides the scoreline, which means how big will Real Madrid win? Or, he's not determining if they will lose or if they win. Griezmann and Lookman determine that,
Okay.
right? That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
I know
Okay,
we're getting
go on.
heated here, but I have to
Okay,
defend.
we're gonna
I have to
what's the
defend.
last one,
Okay,
though?
last one.
Yeah, this one might be a bit
Okay.
easier.
Maybe. We'll see.
You made these
Okay.
questions like
No. I have to do it. Okay. Start, bench.
bro.
Yeah, Chow. Okay, just be you.
He was like, I'm out.
Yeah. I argue the crap out of that. Okay.
Yeah, you have to do it.
All right, let's just be start, bench, sell, Rudiger, Gabriel, or Araujo.
Okay. Starting. I'm gonna start Gabriel. I've already
Right away.
no right away. Gabriel.
Okay.
He's improved so much this
Okay.
season. He can get you some goals as well from set pieces, which are Arsenal's bread and butter. He can get you that header goal from a corner.
Mm.
He's learned a lot from his partnership with Saliba. He can also do what Saliba does really well. He's such a complete center back, the best in Europe, if one of the best, if not the best in Europe. So I don't think you can really complain.
Do you think if Saliba was here instead of Gabriel, you would?
No, I
or
still start Gabriel. I already said
Okay,
this Champions
okay.
League this season. I'm not counting like all overall and like from the past couple seasons. I would still say Saliba's better overall, but this season particularly, especially in the Champions League, Gabriel. So Gabriel starting.
The set job?
No. Actually, this is much easier than the other.
Really? Really?
I'm
Okay.
benching Rudiger. Rudiger's still great.
Dang.
He's got a lot of character and personality for Madrid, and especially in big games. He's won the Champions League previously. Even this season, he's been what saved Real Madrid's defense. Because honestly, Rudiger's the only person in Real Madrid's defense who's like actually good. If you think about it, because Carvajal tore his ACL, so now they have to put Vasquez and do some like weird rotations
Yeah, okay, that's true.
for
Yeah.
right
Yeah.
back. Then the other center back pairing is always Chouameni going in there. It's just like makes no sense. We already know that. That's nonsense. And then left back you have Furlong Mendy, who according to Tristan, can be kind of unpredictable.
Our previous guest.
So yeah, Tristan, our previous guest, who's a Madrid fan, he stated Furlong Mendy is unpredictable. He's the only one who's really consistent, has a lot of character, Rudiger. So, and he's done great with that. Like, if it weren't for Rudiger, Madrid would not be where they are right now. I think they'd still be in the Champions League, but I wouldn't give them a chance even against Atletico. Rudiger is really the only thing that's going to hold the defense against Atletico, and he'll do that well. He will carry their defense. So I got to give credit to Rudiger for that. I'm going to bench him and then sell Araujo. Yes, Araujo is one of the best center backs in Europe, but he's been injured for quite a while. He's come back, scored some goals, but I don't know. Still, yeah, I have to see a bit more of him, but there's always these transfer rumors going around. He's being injured a lot. I'll need to see more of him playing this season and scoring some clutch goals. He did score against Atalanta, but Barcelona had already qualified. And yeah, I'll need to see Araujo get back to his best. And also, the thing is, I know this is last season, but
It's just now though. Like that's the thing with Araujo though, right? We're just seeing this now.
So I'm selling him. I honestly, that was the easiest.
Okay, good.
This one was
That
pretty
was
simple.
good. After the previous heat, we need
These
that.
two, those were like
Okay.
impossible level. But
Okay.
yeah, this
So-
one was more massive.
So for me, start bench shell Rudiger, Gabriel, Araujo. I probably would, because I have to explain. I probably would start
Just say it.
start Rudiger.
Okay. I thought you were gonna.
Okay.
I thought you were gonna say.
Start Rudiger, yes, over Gabriel. Yes. Bench Gabriel though, absolutely.
Okay.
And then sell Araujo. Okay, so I'll explain. Rudiger, you have to admit, defensively speaking, very specifically defensively speaking, has been more important to Real Madrid's defense, like not conceding a certain amount of goals than Gabriel has been for Arsenal. Gabriel, yes, defensively excellent, but the biggest piece of it of why Gabriel is considered considered one of the best center backs in the world is simply due to the fact of his the heading prowess that he has on particularly set pieces. So,
but he's also improved his all-round game.
I know. Defensively, he's amazing too. But I'm saying, who is more important to the back line? Like, who is?
Oh yeah, because if Saliba gets injured, they still have. So no, Gabriel gets injured.
So Saliba,
and they still have Ben White and this fullback.
Now, who's replaced? Yeah, who's replacement for Rudiger?
They're cooked.
You're cooked. So
I mean, of course, one goal, but you can't rely on the goalie, right?
Specifically, defensively speaking, importance of defense. Like, so for example, like Chiellini. I have to bring this back to it, but Chiellini wasn't about the goals for him. It was always about that defensive solidity, holding that zeros, holding that 0 goals clean sheet for Buffon in the back.
Yeah.
Right. Now we fast forward to modern day Rudiger. I wouldn't say it's the modern Chiellini, but I'm saying Rudiger fills that role that kind of a Chiellini had back then, which is the rock, the absolute, mountain of the defense, in the sense of, this is the player that will keep the clean sheet. Yes, Courtois is in the back, but you have Rudiger as the main defensive solid rock. And if I'm not mistaken, he's also captain, isn't he, as well? Or at least a couple of the games, I think he was captain or something like that. He definitely captains his defense. There's no question. Defensively speaking, for the other center back that is paired with him, he always captains defense.
It's Luka Modric, but then
that's probably
Modric doesn't always start. Then it's probably Rudiger.
Yeah, I guess it's Rudiger from here.
Let me just double check.
Sometimes, but point is that Rudiger captains the defense, in the sense of, he is like I said, that Chiellini type, where he's going to make sure that the defense is in proper positions. They're not going to shift away or going to a more attacking position than they should. So for me, Rudiger starts for that particular reason. Gabriel, absolutely bench. For this case, I can't give it to Araujo bench. I can't, simply due to the fact that Araujo just is coming back right now. Araujo just has got back from the injury. It's just form right now. So we haven't seen that much from Araujo in recent times. But Araujo has been amazing, though, so far. Gabriel, bench, because, Gabriel has just been amazing defensively, like I said. Attacking wise, if you were to sub in Gabriel, for example, I think he would get a goal. Like, just before you did a set piece, I think you would get a goal for you in that given set piece that you sub in. Super, that's like a game changer kind of player, and that's what Gabriel is. But defensively, I think Rudiger just is that captain, whereas like Saliba is more so that Rudiger. Saliba is more closer to Rudiger importance wise of defense than Gabriel is to Rudiger, if that makes sense. Saliba captains defense and Rudiger captains defense, whereas Gabriel is the Bonucci. He is the pairing to that the defensive captain, I guess you could say.
Yeah, no,
that's why I give Rudiger the start, bench Gabriel, and Araujo. I'm sorry, you got to go just based off of, we haven't seen that much from you yet. Yeah, in modern or in games that we recently have seen.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. Well, yeah,
that was feisty.
That was feisty. That was challenging.
Yeah,
well, in the future, this will definitely be. I got to prepare for these questions.
Yeah, we're gonna prepare for these questions.
Those are some hard questions.
Yeah, they are. They are.
I mean, give this even like a football pundit. They'll be like scratching their heads over this.
But
yeah, that was fun though, nevertheless. And yeah, we are now we've reached the end of our podcast episode today. We like to thank all those who been listening to our podcast recently, and we can't wait to have more content airing out to you in the near future with the round of 16 coming up, quarterfinals, etc. Please make sure to follow us on our Instagram page, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and if you have any questions, comments, feel free to DM us on Instagram or email us at oldbigearspod@gmail.com. And thank you so much for listening, y'all. We're out for today. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
We're out.